J.J. Watt's a free agent to be. He may end his career after the season. We don't know. We don't know if he's going to retire. Just had, welcomed a new member to his family last week. Had a monster game yesterday. 2 sacks. He's still performing at a high level. He's got 4.5 sacks to lead the Cardinals. What would it take for the Arizona Cardinals to entertain trading J.J. Watt? I don't think personally they would do it. I think it would be too much of a hit from a marketing standpoint. I think J.J. Watt does a lot for this franchise off the field. But Bo Brock, I'm going to flip it to you. If somebody called offering up picks for number 99, what would it take to get it done in your mind?
Man, it's so tough because what he does transcends the playing field. And it
does.
When this team needs all the goodwill it could possibly get surrounding, from the fan base. If they sent J.J. Watt packing between now and tomorrow, I mean, some people would understand it from acquiring a pick standpoint, but then you look at Steve Keim's draft resume.
It can't be.
I mean, I don't see a way that you could spend that to the fan base and then also back up the extensions that you just gave out this offseason at the same time. I just think that if the expectation is to win this season, to contend in this crazy division that nobody's kind of taken a grasp of, and to send J.J. Watt, like you couldn't spoon feed that to anybody. You couldn't spend it any way. He's your leader in your sacks. He's one of the leaders, vocal guys in the locker room that says the right thing, does the right thing. I mean, as far as guys who are actually walking the walk and talking the talk, there aren't a bunch of guys who can combine all of that in the total package. J.J. Watt right now is, outside of the frustrations earlier with the calf injury and not being available, but he's been solid in his second season for the Arizona Cardinals.
And I would say if the value is higher at that same level or above in terms of a player, impact player, why not? It's a business. I think that J.J. Watt would understand and, do the best for he and his family. But for picks, I think that you're taking the position that we're retooling for the future. And I think with all the trades and acquisitions that Steve Keim and company has made, they're trying to win right now. You don't get Hollywood Brown and trade your second round pick to get Hollywood Brown. You don't go out there and get Robbie Anderson when you see Hollywood Brown go down if you're not trying to insert him into, inject some life into your offense, right? Yeah. So I think that they're trying to win right now, and they're in a good position because the NFC West isn't that good. So I say if there's value there, or maybe it's a Deron Payne and a Chubb type player in addition to some picks, that could be a possibility, but straight for picks, I don't know how that would go over with Cardinals fans or anybody associated with the organization.
You would be signaling to your fan base that the season is over, and that is not the message that the Cardinals, Steve Keim, Michael Bidwell want to emulate. I mean, you do not have a plethora of quality defensive linemen. You have 2, and you can't go and trade one. It's not like the position of outside linebacker where you're going to say, I want to free up time for Cameron Thomas, Myzee Sanders. That's why they cut Devon Kennard. Fans can understand that. We want to see the next generation of Cardinal defenders. Watt is the best player they have in their front 7 right now. He's playing exceptionally well. He's gone under the radar as probably a borderline Pro Bowler this year. He's on pace for almost 10 sacks. He's given you what you needed from him when he signed that big, massive contract on top of all the leadership attributes that you knew you were going to get in the offseason. So no one's going, and then part of it is no one's going to give you a first-round pick for J.J. Watt. We just saw Roquan Smith, even though he's off the ball linebacker, he's in his mid-20s, go for a second and a fifth. So to me, I think in a perfect scenario, if you were going to trade him and the team, let's say, was 1-6, let's say they were having a Lions-esque type of season, I would need some kind of a quality day 2 pick. But it's not worth the message that you're sending to the fans, which is we're punting on the season. I love Michael Dogby. He's not J.J. Watt. He does not deserve, playing time over Watt. So the Cardinals, are, in my opinion, rightfully so, are going to ride this thing out with Platt and company.
I love that comment. My kid's going to run over here and tell me to calm the F down. Yeah, I love in the chat, Jalen Blair, I think, makes a great point as far as JJ would have to ask to be moved, right? And that would be a sign that he doesn't think that they have enough to do this. And I think he's too proud to say that. And it's not happening. He just had a new kid. Damien, I mean, you've lived the professional player life. I mean, it's not as simple as, you get traded to another organization and you just show up for work the next day. There's a lot that goes into it. And I can't imagine that J.J. Watt wants to do that. I'm sure he's pretty comfortable here in the desert.
I mean, yeah, comfort is key, guys, but you forget they're not dealing like how we're dealing. Their logistics is, hey, I got a guy that knows a guy. Everything's going to get done. The owner's going to send a private jet. I'm going to be out there. Do I foresee it happening? No, I think it's a far stretch because, as Johnny said, it's signaling to the fan base that we're not trying to win right now. We're trying to prep for the future. That's not why he was brought here. That's not why you extend Keim and Kliff. That's not why you extend Kyler, right? That's not why you make those offseason acquisitions that they've done. But I think that you have to be aggressive because you've identified through 8 games what your team is. And I think that it's a team that, the secondary is talented, but the defensive line has some big issues in their inability to get to the quarterback consistently and stop the run. And guys, Dalvin Cook was cooking yesterday.
He was cooking.
He had a day, but I will say, Johnny, Bo, that they did make some adjustments in the second half and were able to get the ball back. And I know we're going to get into that, but what's that, Bo? I can't hear you. What'd you say? Run the play? Yeah. Hurry it up.
I want a wide receiver screen here, Kyler.
Timeout. We need a timeout right after a timeout when the play clock's expiring. We also need to check the stats.
Did you say timeout? Did you say
timeout? Timeout. Calm. Hey, Bo, calm the fuck down. Calm the fuck down, Bo. All right, so here's what I want to do. I want to pull up some statistics here. This is from ESPN. Win pass rush rate. Look at this. The top-rated defensive tackles pass rush wise, couple familiar names there. Zach Allen, first overall. He's the number 1 defensive tackle in the NFL, rushing the passer, followed quickly by J.J. Watt at number 3, only eclipsed by Jeffrey Simmons, who's a Pro Bowler. The Cardinals are getting what they need from 2 out of their front 7 players. It's everybody else. It's the bookend pass rushers. It's the nose tackle without Rashad Lawrence. That is where this team is hurting. But Zach Allen, J.J. Watt are the heart of your front 7, and trading Watt away, not a great message. And I think it would also stunt the development of Zach Allen, who is ready for a big payday this offseason.